G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today we're visiting the Vietnamese Bonsai Club's TET Festival 2020. 1st of February, no 2nd of February. And we're starting with the entrance tree of a cedar. Very nice cedar, quite large. Nicely refined, very layered approach, very nice. There's a fake tree there, but that's alright. Oh, is that a fake tree? Could be a bougainvillea. We'll have to go check that out in a second. But some stuff for sale. Come across a crabapple that looks like it's grown on a rock of some sort. Very nice to see the fruit. Tons of fruit. Very cool. Looks like it's going nicely root over a rock. Interesting rock though. Have a nice close look. Then we have a nice big cedar group. That's quite nice, natural look. Very realistic. Very nicely positioned trees. Very cool. Looks looks like a definitely not a deodara. Probably Atlantic cedar. Doesn't say which one it is, but very nice. Now this should have been a feature of the show, but it's tucked away in a corner, unfortunately, and I don't know why. It's beautiful bougainvillea, beautiful big base, beautiful flowers, nice in colour, lovely tree. And now this is a monster English Elm. Like that base is a monstrous base. I don't know how I can give you without touching it. I don't want to show you how big that is, but that's a huge base. Field collected, big tree. Now I'm trying to get this tree into view. It's a firethorn. A bit hard to look at this tree, unfortunately. The position of it's not the best, but massive tree, massive firethorn. Seen this jade a few times. Good to see it again. Haven't seen this guy before. Chinese elm needs a bit of work in the trunks to carve them out, but it's coming along pretty cool, pretty nicely. A very manicured trident maple with very much layering and a lot of deadwood work there. Lovely English elm. Another English elm. A very tall Japanese maple. This is quite interesting. Cork oak. And I'll show you the actual trunk and how it's corking up. Very nice. Interesting tree. Haven't seen that before. It's good to see a tree that you haven't seen before. Let's keep making our way through. Nice pine on a bit of a, I don't know what you call that, a pipe some sort. Just a nice juniper that could really need some work on it. Just get some trimming that back. You know, it's a bit overgrown. Just need to be wide out, but it has a really good base. It's got some nice work done to it, but it just needs a bit of work. A blue cedar, very favourite trees here in the Vietnamese club. Quite nice there. Some sort of aquarium display, not sure. Another blue cedar here. And you see I don't know if you call them cones or whatever they are, the fruit of some sort, or cones or seed cones. Looks nice too. I really like this guy. It's just for the size. I can't even get in the camera, hang on. Oh, huge Chinese elm. In a very penging kind of style rather than bonsai. Now we move to this is a western white pine. Come back to the start to show another entrance, well, the main entrance. Very tall cedar greeting you. A nice little one to the side. Little migos on the side here. I've seen this Japanese maple a few times before. Looking very healthy and strong. Very pom-pom style Hinoki Cypress. Hard to grow. Another juniper group. Again, this one is a bit sparse, but we'd like to see a bit more work on it. But looks got potential. A blue cedar. As I said, the Vietnamese love their blue cedars. Looks really good. This is a twin trunk Chinese elm. Very interesting golden cedar now. Phenomenal tree. I think this would be pretty awesome, but for me, very unique pot, but for me I wouldn't do that pot. This tree on its own could be spectacular if it was in the right pot. That takes away the beauty of the actual tree. Nice little pinging landscape. Nice black pine. This is a much more refined black pine, one of the better ones in the show today. Amiga pine. Interesting. Could have used a better pot for it. More a cascade pot or semi-cascade pot. Lots of people around today, so another black pine. A little cedar there. This is a Buddhist pine, they call it. I found out about this little kumquat. It's a miniature kumquat from Hong Kong. Interesting tree. Another white pine, Pinus parviflora. Well, not parviflora, probably strobus or something. Strobus, that's it. Look at the long needles on that. This is not a bad tree, not a bad cedar. It tells a story, so it's nice to see. I like when a tree can tell a story. Yeah, this is a pretty cool little mugo. Just the pot is way wrong for it. Way too wrong for it. But anyway, nice little mugo, has lots of potential. Oh, radiatas. I love radiata pines. I've got one at home. And this is a big bushy one too. I love how bushy they get sometimes like that. But that's their beauty. The trunk's pretty good too. Pretty decent size. A cypress tree. Pretty cool. Nice pot actually. Really nice pot. Another really nice pot here too. And a pretty good cedar. Wow, actually quite a nice tree. Too bad it goes higher than the top of the thing, but very nice. Another blue cedar. This is actually pretty cool, nice and compact as well. Very nice. Nice black pine. Very long needles, but I think in time they can come down. The pot's really good too, and the way they're displaying them is pretty good. Up high, it's well displayed. Nice high table. Fortunately, it just goes up too high above the top. Wow, nice Shimpaku juniper, big old tree, big old trunk. I would love to have this in my collection to work on. You know my love of Shimpaku junipers. And I could see it doing a lot of work on this tree to refine it. It could be a superstar tree. But there you go, quite a nice tree. It's a Japanese box, they reckon. But look at that, looks like it's a smiling face in the middle. A very old trunk. Very nice. Let's move down this row. It's an ash to meet us, which is nice and Nagari style with all the roots exposed. It's actually pretty good. I just don't want to see an ash styled as a pine. An ash should be styled as a deciduous tree. So the Nagari style is fantastic, but that top half should have been more natural style. Honeysuckle Lonicera. That's pretty spectacular trunk. Very, very nice trunk. Look at that. Look at that. That's one of the best trunks here. I think one of the best trunks here. Well, here is a beautiful Shimpaku juniper, Tanuki, unfortunately, but really not too bad. Not badly done. It's pretty good actually. It'd be nice if that wasn't in the middle. If it was to the side, it might have worked well, but that's a beautiful piece of deadwood. And a beautiful Shimpaku on foot. Would love that as well. This is a nice big fig, like cascade style, which is very unusual for figs, but you see them in the... if the crown could be more rounded, I think it would be a really cool tree. Another olives are big, nice, famous trees, but again, style like a pine, should be more fuller, more deciduous, more evergreen look, I should say. Nice Trident maple, nice base. Probably needs a glazed pot to make it even better. I've seen a few crab apples today. Here's another one. Just pretty much for the fruit, this tree. Looks really good. They'll go nice and red soon. Nice black pine. Very well looked after. This is very impressive fig. But again, style is a style like a pine. But it is what it is. Nice big base. Looking good. Nice little Hinoki again. Some miniatures. We come around the corner. And we see some... Oh, a bitter orange. I thought it was going to be a tangerine. Probably the same thing, but a bitter orange. Look how small the fruit. Hinoki Cypress, incorrectly labelled. This is just a Juniper squamata. It's grown. Looks like a trunk, but it's not. It's probably like you could treat that as a bit of dead wood stuck to the side. Not necessarily tanuki, but like a rock to the side. But it's a Juniper squamata. Not a bad Japanese maple there. Got a nice lily pilly. This is a very nice blue cedar. It just needs a bit of work. The whole, I'll show you why. The apex, look at the apex. It goes backwards. Can you see that? Now that should just come forwards and it will be an awesome tree. Could be an awesome tree. Oh, I love my shimpakus. My problem is with this tree is they've left a huge gap right there. There could have been some of those down into that spot, like that first branch, this branch here could have been bent into that spot, hide that gap. No, I'm sorry being so... I shouldn't be criticising the exhibition. Sorry, I should say, just show you the trees. Oh, big black pine. This is pretty cool. A firethorn. Let's swing around and look at this one. Another big firethorn. I don't know where these are monster firethorns. Pyrocanthus. Big tree. Oh, nice plum. I like the leaves on this. Very nice. I've seen this guy before growing out of a vase again. Nice black pine. Looks like it's recently been done. Recently been styled. And I'm not sure about that pot, but this is what it is. Another black pine. Another trident. Looks very cool. This is a lantana. Very nice flower. Very, very nice flower. Beautiful flower. But then we come to this olive. This olive is actually much better, much more what an olive should look like. Full canopy, big base. I like that olive. So I just want to come back to this bougainvillea now. It's unfortunately tucked away in the corner, as I said, but it's really would have made a statement being one of the front trees and on its own. Beautiful bougainvillea. One of my favourites in the show. Bougainvillea. I thought it looked a bit very cool, but it needs a lot of work. Looks like it's been collected, but just flowering, so it's really cool, but needs to be compacted and made a bit smaller, but very nice. This is a famous Hinoki Cypress here in Melbourne because when the bushfires burnt through Victoria and killed 150 plus people, probably about 10 years ago now, or a bit more, this tree was auctioned off and someone's paid $20,000 for the auction. That's to go towards bushfire victims, and it's a pretty awesome Hinoki Cypress, I have to say. I'll do a walk around so you can see how good it is. It just, very healthy to get foliage like that on a Hinoki. Pretty cool. Very cool. Very nice for the flowing trunk and branches. Doesn't need that rock though. You should remove that rock, but you see the work under there. Looks nice. Yeah, not a bad tree. Let's go and see which tree I think is the best in the show, in my opinion. That's pretty. That'll be up there, but let's go and see what else there is, which one, and for what reasons, and we'll have a look. This is probably an honourable mention. I really like that tree. The flowers are striking. Trunk's nice. The tree's being worked on. Probably an honourable mention. Not the best in the show, but really right up there. Unfortunately, maybe this tree could have been the best if that pot. Unfortunately for that vase, this shouldn't be in that vase. But what a tree! This is maybe I have a thing for cascades, but that. You see this in person, it is quite small little tufts of foliage on this golden cedar. Another very honourable mention. I think it's a really good tree, but just a vase pot just hinders it. Let's see what else. Aesthetic purposes and technique and so on. This is probably the best tree in show, just because of it actually looks like a proper evergreen. Well done and everything. Probably gets my vote for best tree. But I got one more other tree that I thought, you know what, it is quite spectacular and I haven't seen it before. So I'll show you that one and I'll finish up the video with this one. This tree is absolutely incredible. This deadwood and this trunk and the twists and turns. It's a Honeysuckle Lonicera. It's just something I haven't seen before. And that pot suits it. And it's a monster tree. I don't know how people carry that. But really, really top quality trunk. Amazing trunk. It wins the vote of, makes you connected.